Today my guests are Michael D'Angelo, Rail Operations Analyst at Volkswagen, and John Bowersox, Director of Operations at Ann Sachs Tile and Stone. Welcome to you both.
Hello, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to be talking today about CSCMP's Young Professionals Program. So John, I know you're heavily involved. Tell us a little about that program, how it got started, where it's headed.
I'm proud to say that the program now is in about its 5th year from inception. And I'll be moving out of the YP chairperson role I've been in the past few years as we've spoken, and Michael is stepping in to take over that role for the organization. So we've come a long ways in the past couple of years. YP membership at CSCMP has grown from around 150 members when we started to over 375 members as we sit here currently. Over the past year, some of the key accomplishments for the committee have been the development and introduction of a formal mentorship program, which we introduced here at the annual Global Conference yesterday. We've also produced our 3rd track this year under the Young Professionals track and the Education Cornerstone of personal development, all tracks focused on YPs and their development within the supply chain. Other accomplishments this year for the committee have been a significantly increased effort in our marketing and media presence. Our LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages are now up and active and driving quite a bit of activity. And I'd say that's been what we've been working on. It's been a lot of stuff, yeah.
Well, Michael, that sounds like big shoes to fill. So
certainly, John and the committee have done a wonderful job up to this point. It's now up to us to build off that momentum and continue to focus on those areas John did speak about, but also look into new areas where we could continually improve. The huge objective for this year is a focus on the students. It's kind of been an area we've overlooked, but now we're in a position, the infrastructure is in place to focus on the students. And we do that by first starting at the student roundtable level. It's our objective now to develop a formal roundtable format consistent amongst all student roundtables across the country. We hope to engage with the students through that channel and to convert them into young professional members moving forward. Speaking about the roundtables, we're also asking all of our roundtables in the country to add a young professional member to the board, to have that voice of a young professional heard at a local roundtable to drive in more young professional traffic into the committee. Finally, this year we're developing a pretty robust survey to help understand what we're missing as a committee. What products and services can we continually offer our members? That's how the membership program came about, is off a survey such as the one we're running this year. And that's going to further strengthen our value proposition to our young professional members.
So I'd like to ask both of you why you think it's so important to support the young professionals and to really put an emphasis on the young professionals coming along. John, why don't you start?
Sure, thanks, it's a great question, and we're clearly biased in our response, but we'll do our best to give you an objective point of view. The supply chain industry continues to evolve and grow. And we know that a lot of our senior leaders that have set the stage for taking the industry where we are today are moving on in their career, and we affectionately refer to them as some of our old Ps, or our more mature Ps. And so we do see a great need to continue the investment in young professionals and the new bloodline and lifeblood of the organization, right, and as our industry as a whole. You know, the second point that Mike mentioned when we talked prior was the industry's growing rapidly. And we continue to hear about this war on talent and this need for supply chain talent just below the sea level within companies. And we really believe that young professionals are the group that will help to make up that gap over the next couple of years, and investment in their development will help to drive that.
Further to John's comments, there are roughly 188 universities in the country that offer supply chain operations, logistics degrees in the country, so the pipeline of students is also expanding. However, as they come into the industry, it's up to us to guide them through and show them the ropes.
Well, both of you still look like young professionals to me. I wonder if you could speak at all to your personal experience when you were a student or young, early in the industry. Did you have this kind of support or feel the need for it?
Yeah, it definitely did. As a student, we were not forced, but strongly encouraged to join the CSCMP, and I was fortunate enough to come to this event as a student, and since then I haven't missed. Through the contacts I've made, I met John at this conference in Philadelphia about 5 years ago, and every year I continue to expand my Rolodex and meet more and more people, and I come back every year, catch up with those I do know, and meet new people. And every person I've met, I've learned something from.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with Michael more. It's been the same for me in terms of my personal story around meeting people here. And the message I would send out to those folks that are coming, or from a personal story, is you really get out of this organization what you put into it, and even more so in terms of the time and effort you commit. So for my personal journey, it started with some volunteerism and being aware of what CSCMP offered, and it's matriculated over time into the development of this committee and the friendships and the relationships that we've built from that, and ultimately a chance to serve on the board of directors, which Michael will now be able to do as well. And it's really been such a fulfilling process in such a short period of time. And so, I'm biased, but I would offer that it's a great opportunity for people.
Is there any other advice you could offer to young professionals or to their employers in the industry? Yeah.
So I think we talk about this a lot, but my first thing always for young professionals is work hard and do a good job in your current role and add value and relevancy to your company. And then, Mike, any thoughts?
Never stop learning. That's my main message. And coming to a conference such as this, you surround yourself with such like-minded people, but you can learn so much from the sessions and the people you speak with. Never stop learning. Never stop networking. I think oftentimes young professionals get that first job and they think they're done. They stop their networking, they stop working, and that's unfortunate, because we all know that young professionals do not stay with the same company their entire careers as a previous generation might have. So it's important to keep expanding your network and to get yourself out of the silo that I think a lot of us do fall victim to.
In terms of the companies, on the company side, I wanted to just say, for those senior leaders out there that have the YPs coming into their organizations, I would highly encourage them to expose them to this organization and to find ways through corporate membership or through individual membership to give those young professionals an opportunity to gain exposure to CSCMP and to learn the value. It's tough on paper for us to show what this organization can do for individuals, but if you take just our 2 testaments around relationships and networking and expand that across over the 3,000 attendees we have here, it truly is amazing and powerful, and I would just highly encourage those senior leaders that have the power to do so to bring this forward to their young professionals.
Going further off that though, leadership often focuses on their core business, and exposing yourself to other businesses, other industries. You can learn a lot from retail if you're in food, and vice versa. So you can take best practices from different industries, different companies, and apply it to your own supply chain that you might otherwise not have come across if you weren't at a conference such as this.
Right. And it certainly makes these young people better employees when they have that kind of exposure.
Absolutely.
Right?
No question.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great area and so important, so I thank you both so much for coming by and talking with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Support. Yeah, appreciate it.
I've been speaking with Michael D'Angelo of Volkswagen and John Bowersox of ANSACS. Thank you for watching.